Donald Trump has tested positive for COVID. We still haven't seen a negative test, even though he claims that he's no longer contagious. But he has tested positive for one other thing, and that's stupidity. You're about to experience some of that in this next clip.
You've got 30 plus people with coronavirus in and around the White House. Address that concern for us, Mr. President. As you tell the Commission on Debates, you're not going to do this virtually.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think I'm better when to a point where I'd love to do a rally tonight. I wanted to do one last night, but I think I'm better to a point that I feel better than I did. I jokingly said 20 years ago. I feel perfect. There's nothing wrong. I had a case. I got it knocked out. I think it was Regeneron that was responsible for it. Because of that, it was sort of like almost a gift from heaven.
Let me note that it is not impossible, considering all of the experimental drugs they pumped into his body. It is not impossible that he could be at a phase where he's no longer contagious, okay? So I just wanna put that out there. However, we have not seen any evidence yet indicating that he's no longer contagious, and there are tests to see if someone is contagious at this point. So let's see that test, and if that's true, you wanna go do rallies, do rallies. But even if he's not contagious, keep in mind that he has surrounded himself with people who were yelled at if they ever tried to wear a mask. They also got the virus. And so there are a bunch of sick people surrounding Donald Trump. And if you take all those people to wherever he's planning on doing a rally, you are risking the lives of people in that area, the workers who have to work to put that rally together. It's not just about him. It's not just about Donald Trump, but it doesn't matter. I mean, he doesn't ever see past himself and what he wants anyway.
So look, guys, after you have coronavirus and you're completely past it, are you less likely to get coronavirus going forward? Absolutely, you are. It doesn't mean you're absolutely immune because people have gotten it a second time already, but you're close to immune. It's very unlikely. Is Donald Trump past it? Not by any definition of any doctor on the planet. According to Donald Trump, it's not my words, it's his. They say that he tested positive Thursday night. Now, some are speculating that he might have tested positive earlier and that he wasn't telling folks. But they say, Trump says, I tested positive Thursday. Today is Thursday. There is not a single doctor on the planet that thinks that someone who tested positive a week ago is not contagious a week later. I've never heard that, never read that. It's not a thing. Maybe by some miracle, someone might already be past it within a week, but there's been no documented cases of anyone not being contagious a week after they test positive. So no, he doesn't know anything. He's actively putting out misinformation to the whole country, telling them, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Oh, you have coronavirus? Don't worry about it. A week later, a couple of days later, go out, take your mask off, go around, etc. We're gonna get people killed. That's why they take this information off of social media now, because of how potentially dangerous it is. So I tweeted about this earlier today. The reason I'm telling you that is because every right winger in the comment section was like, oh, no way, man. Trump knows way better than doctors. He's definitely immune. I don't care what every doctor says. He's definitely immune. No, these morons, they really believe Trump over every doctor on the planet. So yeah, look, Anna, I'm with you. I'm done trying to save their lives. So you guys all want to go to the Superdome and pack it in, 100,000, 200,000 people, standing room only, all hug it out together with Donald Trump right now, an active coronavirus patient who is clearly, by any definable metric, very, 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 very likely, unless it's a miracle, to be contagious. Have at it. But it's the Secret Service, it's the vendors, it's all these other people that you put in grave danger as well. That's why we can't have it. And guys, the other problem is that the president is a moron. He keeps saying things that aren't remotely true. Forget doing his rallies with his dumbass death cult, who's happy to die for him. But he's telling the rest of the country, oh yeah, no, maybe I'm immune. He said right after he got out of the hospital, he did a video where he's saying, maybe I'm immune, I don't know. Then why did you open your big stupid orange mouth? Because when you say maybe I'm immune, I don't know, your followers interpret that as one day after coronavirus, once you get out of the hospital, you're immune. Yeah, that's it. Let's go hug everybody with coronavirus and spread it all around. Trump told us that we're immune. So he's a danger to himself and to everyone else around him.
He should send the White House doctors home. I'm sure they'd love to be with their family and their loved ones. I'm sure they'd love a little bit of time off. It would show just how tough Donald Trump really is. I mean, if he's completely cured, he doesn't need any help. During the interview, he claimed you don't even necessarily need drugs to conquer coronavirus. If that's all true, awesome. Then why do you need round the clock medical, assistance if you want to call on it, right? Let these poor people go home to their families and enjoy some time off. I mean, it's just ridiculous. He is intentionally making it out as if his personal experience with this virus, as someone in a position of power who has round the clock medical care, is the same scenario that any average American is gonna have. And we know that that's not the case. We know that there have been countless Americans who have already received unbelievably extremely expensive medical bills related to the COVID treatment that they received in the hospital. Other Americans died because they didn't even want to risk going to the hospital and accumulating these gigantic bills. He was pumped with all sorts of experimental drugs. I mean, it's so unbelievably irresponsible. And the thing that I worry about is there are reasonable Americans out there who are sick of lockdowns, who are tired of following the rules and wearing the masks, and it is a giant inconvenience. And I'm worried that with his nonchalant attitude, look at me, I'm an obese 70-something-year-old and I should be dead, but I'm not. After contracting this virus, I'm worried that others are gonna minimize the potential risk of contracting a virus like this. So we'll see how that plays out, but the numbers are going up. We've talked about that. In dozens of states, the COVID numbers are going up. And that is devastating when you consider that we're entering flu season and there are gonna be people who need to be hospitalized just from the common flu. That happens every year.
Yeah, so guys, that's why we're different than any other show. In another part of the interview, he talked about how he might not need any medicine at all because he's a perfect physical specimen. So, I mean, then your idiot followers are gonna think that they don't need medicine when they get coronavirus. He's the most irresponsible man ever, but other shows say that. What they don't say is the next thing, and I'm gonna tell you why it's important. You have to explain to people that the president is a total moron. If you don't explain that to people, they think it's 50-50. They think, well, that's the president of the United States. And they have debates. And Trump debates Biden. Biden could be right, Trump could be right. What should be the right amount of taxes? I don't know. Do we need medicine for coronavirus? Is it contagious? Once you're tested positive, should you be with family members or are you miraculously cured in 2 days? I don't know, it's a debate. It's not a debate. One side has all the doctors and scientists, the other side has a moron as its leader. I don't say that because of politics, I say that to try to help save your life. So no one in their right mind should ever listen to Donald Trump. And if you're MAGA and you want to smear coronavirus all over yourself because Trump told you to, have at it, Hoss. But if you're not MAGA, don't ever make the mistake of listening to a family member who's MAGA and is in a death cult. Coronavirus has killed over 210,000 Americans. I assure you they're actually dead. And they died from this disease.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.